good afternoon, everyone. My name is Prasad. I'm the chairman of EThames College in Hyderabad, and I have a very inexperienced and enlightened faculty panel to discuss the topic, the innovative pedagogies, building future-ready dynamic workforce. It's a very, I think, apt and a very critical topic, because in today's workforce, we do a lot of training for the MNC companies. What we see is that the GenAI adoption is quite significant in the corporates, which is creating a huge disruption in the way the work gets done. And even the way the expectation of the companies from the workforce, it used to be like standard productivity tools in the past used to be like MS Office, all these Word, PowerPoint, Excel. These are basic tools that you should be comfortable with using your work. That used to be the basic standard. Now, the last 6 months, maybe to a year, the employers are expecting every employee to understand how you use these GenAI tools, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, or Google Gemini. There are a whole host of GenAI applications. And it is becoming a mandatory for every employee to have the comfort and the expertise in using them. So therefore, the prompt engineering, in a way, is need to be told to each and every employee. It's a very general education, like you are learning PowerPoint or learning Word or learning Excel. So you also need to learn how to use these tools. So with that, there is a huge trainings going on in reskilling the workforce across the corporate around the world. And now, in the past, whatever the educational institutions are producing, the graduates or postgraduates, and their knowledge levels and what the industry was expecting, there's always a huge gap. Now, with this GenAI requirements, the gap is further widening. So unless the educational institutions are able to transform themselves in using these GenAI tools in the teaching and the way you teach the students, the old focus of giving them a lot of theory is no more really relevant, because the subject knowledge they can acquire through various tools today. But what is important is, what you need to teach them is how do you apply that knowledge in the practical work, the application side of the knowledge, and the understanding of the technology, how you use technology in your work. And no business today runs without technology. Technology is all pervasive. In everyday's life, even at home, in the office, everywhere, you use technology. You should have a good understanding of technology. And then, what is more important today, the corporates, they look at from the student, the recruit, is their ability to think critically, their ability to think creatively, their ability to interact with the people, and the ability to work in teams, and their ability to understand the new way of working. That is very critical for these people there. So unless in the pedagogies, in the curriculum that we teach the students, we incorporate these things, and these students will not really be prepared to meet the ever-growing and ever-changing requirements of the industry. So that is the basic, I think, premise on which I would like to engage the panel to understand their views and how their organizations are changing the way that they are teaching their students in whatever subject they are teaching. So, like in our college, we are now trying to make it's mandatory for all the faculty to use GenAI tools in the teaching. In terms of when you give the case studies, you use the GenAI ChatGPT to create case studies. You use ChatGPT to use to make assessments, and you use ChatGPT. Ask the students to build an assignment or do an assignment using all the GenAI tools, and then once they come with this, their output from their GenAI tools, and discuss among themselves. Because if you've seen the same prompt you give to 3, 4 GenAI tools, and you get different answers, not the same thing. There's a difference there. And when you discuss the difference between these 3, 4 approaches, what the solutions given by them, then that's where you understand the subject. That's where you understand your, how this is same issue is being handled by different these GenAI tools. So we are trying to do that kind of a thing in our college. So similarly, I think every institution today, I think, trying to adopt in various ways, and would request each and every faculty panel on this to speak for 2-3 minutes, because we don't have a long time. I know all of you are waiting for us to get off so that you can go and have lunch. So I'll start with, in my list, Mr. Praveen Reddy, Chairman of CBS, Hyderabad, to give your opinion.
Thank you, sir. I think all of you can hear me, right? Yeah, we thank the eminent panelists who are here with me. And it's a real joyous occasion to be part of you and share some ideas and exchange our ideas here, as well as thank the audience for being here so patiently, in spite of us running behind the schedule. So I would like to start off, like sir said, how AI has come into prominence in the past couple of years, worldwide. And I spend my time in US. I'm based out of Dallas, Texas, as well as in Hyderabad. And I'm on the board of management of Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology, as well as I'm the chairman of MGIT, which is Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technology. I take the honor of being here and speak a few words about our college, about how we train our students. So first of all, I get it. The technology is very important. We have to adapt to it. But at MGIT, we look for a holistic development of the student with the understanding of the core courses of engineering, what it means. And AI, in my view, this is a personal opinion, it's meant as a tool that can be used, but ultimately it's the human intelligence that drives the AI process. So basically, in our college, we make students work on real-time projects with the industries. As early as second year of their college, they start working in internships. And we also have industry institute conventions every quarter. And we have like a town hall format where the students talk with the industry leaders. So our objective in our college is for the students to get exposure, and we are behind the scenes. We just create the atmosphere for the students to interact with the industry experts. And we have a great program also called LEAP, Learning and Employability through Apprenticeship Program. So here again, we have tied up with several companies here in the Hyderabad area, such as TCS, Signity, Technologies, to name a few. So by the time our student comes out, he has to be developed in all the aspects, and he should be market ready, because the competition is so intense outside. And back in the day when I was in school, I remember we used to just study for the sake of studying. Crash course right before the exams and then pass through it. It's not enough these days, because you have to stand up, and the competition is not just here, it's global. You have to, your peers are from maybe England, maybe from Australia, maybe New Zealand, maybe Dubai. So you have to stand up to all the standards to come up, And most of the students at our college are market ready. We have like mock programs such as interviews. We conduct extensive interviews, done by the experts in different industries here locally, so that they're ready. There's no apprehensions or no inhibitions when they go for the real-time interview with the students. So we also have technology integration, where we have the tools required to get the latest technologies in AI, machine learning, and IoT, Internet of Things. These are the things to go. So I feel AI is more like a complementary thing to the natural engineering subjects. And the core engineering is always essential. And we have different groups in MGIT, such as metallurgy, which very few courses offer, which very few colleges offer here. And with the electrical vehicles coming into the society, and the role of metallurgy cannot be stressed enough. So that is also an important part. And AI always comes in to complement with that technology. And we do focus on research and development also. The students are collaborating with IIT Hyderabad for some programs, and then they can get adapted to cutting edge technologies in real time. And apart from providing the normal courses, we also have encouraged the clubs. Like we have a photography club. You have to think out of the box. You can't be doing engineering all the time, and the student gets caught up in that. So we have sports clubs, photography club, music club, and so on and so forth. So without further, finally, what I conclude by, we give a comprehensive approach to fostering innovation, integrating technology, and ensure our students keep up with ever-changing challenges and requirements. I can't stress enough about the AI and its importance going forward. So thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Next, I request Dr. 𝐏𝐚𝐧𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐼, Pro-Chancellor, Kerala University, to give you views. Please, thank you.
We were discussing in the morning and many times what the current situation is, skill development for industries. That's what currently going on. And in next coming few years, less than 2 to 3 years, we'll be more focusing on innovations. And the student have a skill-based innovations, you need to be innovative, then only you will become globally competitive. Because the dream of India, by 2050, we have to become a leader. So world leader in the innovations. That means we have to have a process where we are going to develop the students for innovation. So that's the course of the future education model. See, in skill development, you train them. But innovation, you should induce the thought of innovation in them. That's what the new directions, people are looking for that. That's why now we have large number of time by the student dedicated during their college time. Either 6 months, even 1 year, we allow students to put their ideas to resolve the problem. I tell you only one example and close. I was in the Harvard, for the master program assessment. There's a girl from Ethiopia came to do her master's. And when we asked her in an interview, she said, I have come to Harvard only to solve my Ethiopia problem. I have this problem, so I want to solve it. So we asked her, how you are going to study all the subjects? She said, I want to solve the problem, I want to learn all these parameters. So she framed her own syllabus, designer studies, we call. And she did, and 2 years, after 2 years, we only gave a challenge, no PowerPoint presentation. You should present 2 hours writing on the board, because we want to see her ability to remember, memorize everything. And at the end of the course, she presented, and there are venture capitalists we invited as a panel members there. And one of the venture capitalists raised his hand and said, I'm going to contribute $1 million for this girl. That means the thought of innovation gave a new direction to the system. So in our university systems also, I always prefer that we should induce that kind of thought only if we want to become innovation as a future model with a global competitiveness for future India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I request Dr. Ravi Veeraraghavan, Officiating Director, XIME-Chennai.
Very good afternoon to you. I come with industry background. Later on, I moved to academic career. So 2/3 of my career is in industry. And I was part of a major company where we used to recruit thousands of people. And now I am part of a management-based school. Okay, so my perspectives, I'll give some basic points for you to think. In an academic institution, who is the customer? Is it a student? It is not. It is the industry. Okay, you are making the student, you are producing the skill set that is required for the industry. So you have to see students as your products. Okay, then you can actually look at how you can make a quality product for the industry. If you look at the demand and supply situation, number of opportunities available is plenty. Especially, I'm coming from IT sector, I know the jobs are plenty. The technologies keep emerging. There is always opportunity for a person who is up to date with the technology. On the other hand, if you look at the students, plenty of the students are available, but the employability is very poor. What is the reason? There are 2-3 things that I can talk about. One, before talking about future-ready students, are we sure that we have future-ready faculties? Because this is an important question. Faculty cannot be complacent with what they know today. They need to be updated and they should be better than the student. Today, they have access to social media. They can learn anything without you. In fact, being a B-school person, people always go through something and ask me questions. The classes are not meant for teaching. Just, it is meant for clarifying the doubts they have. Okay, so the teacher should be ahead of the curve if they want to produce good students for the industry. That's my first point. The second thing is, when you look at the student side again, there are 3 categories of students. One, students who go for higher education, students who want to be self-employed or an entrepreneur, and students who want to get employed in a company. These are 3 different categories with 3 different objectives. But we have one single curriculum for all this. We don't differentiate this. How can you make a custom-made product? Look at the demand side also. Companies. If you take IT sector, we are thinking that there is only one technology and IT means everything. Actually, it is not. IT companies are not doing work for themselves. IT companies are doing work for the customers belonging to different industry segments. Do we have curriculum aligned with the industry? Okay, if you take, say, Infosys. Infosys have bulk of the revenue coming from banking sector. If somebody is recruited for a work in banking, again, they verticalize their services. Some employees work for BFS, banking and financial services. Some work for retail. Some work for telecom. Some work for manufacturing. Do we differentiate or do we give some inputs about what is this industry all about when you actually place these people? Actually, this is lacking. Of course, in base school, we actually teach the requirements, again, whether it is technology or management, with an industry focus, which is very important. We don't look at the industry, but we give a technology knowledge without understanding where it is getting applied. Okay, that's why there's a gap between industry expectation and the student skill sets. So we need to be aligned to the industry. We should have industry-focused curriculum. How can we do that? Today, the collaboration between the institution and the industry is weak because we just involve them. Can we give the assurance that, again, you have to get an assurance from the industry that this is the curriculum that I'm taking. Will you take our students? Okay, we go with a generic curriculum, not so customized for the people who are coming for placement. Okay, very few companies take everyone because the requirement is large. Not really. Suppose when there is a shortage of requirement, you really face challenges and competition. Jobs are less in some years, but we find it difficult in those years. In fact, industry also have fluctuations. In some years, you find IT taking a lot of people. In another year, you find manufacturing taking more people. Okay, so we should know the trend that is going to happen, and we should identify our customer very well. Who is going to be our customer? Is it a manufacturing company or an IT company? In manufacturing, again, manufacturing is also a very big subject. We have some 20, 25 sub-verticals in manufacturing.
That's it. Time is...
Yeah. Yeah, with these few words, actually, I want you to focus on the industry and the company which is recruiting. Last thing is that you look for a sustainable career, not just a placement. your customer is long term. You should look for, if they recruit a student from your college, they should be able to survive for 30 years in that company. That's the way you should plan. So these are my inputs as a person with industry background and an academician. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now next I request Mr. Bala Murugan SP, co-founder of GUVI. Yeah.
Thank you. So since we are an IT skilling tech company, right? So what we do is we simulate the real-time work environment through our platform. For example, right, when someone comes to learn full stack development, so we don't actually throw the problem statements just as a mere statement. It will be posted through the project-driven platform where someone can start writing the code using the source code repositories. So they don't now, I mean, usually in colleges, people used to use their local environments to deploy the projects and those things, right? But when we start making them to do hands-on, we allow them to deploy their code in the real-time environment of the cloud platforms, and thereby simulate the real problems that they really face in their challenges. So these kind of simulating environments are the ones which will really make them ready. Even when they write the code in terms of the collaborative mode, the code review or the quality code checks should also be enforced as they learn in their college itself. Most of the people think that getting the output is enough, right? But ideally, that is not how it is been looked in the industry. How much space and time complexity is being saved, and how much people are able to write a encapsulated solution, which will be, because most of the time, if you get into your IT job, right, nobody will start from the scratch. They will work on an existing project. So collaboratively working on a source code, existing source code, is a skill that people should replicate in their learning itself so that they stay relevant to what they are actually. So considering time, I'll stop here so that other people can speak.
Thank you very much. Now next I request Mr. Rob Kindness, Sales Director, ABE Global, to speak.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for the warm welcome to India. My name is Rob Kindness, and I represent a UK-based exam body, ABE Global Limited. We specialise in business entrepreneurship, leadership and management qualifications. But this is not my first exam body. I've worked for exam bodies that have specialised in health and social care, in construction, and in food safety. But despite all those disciplines and sectors, there are certain skills that are still required across all sectors, and that, of course, is soft skills. If you Google skills needed in the workplace, you'll come up with pretty much the same answer. And I just did it before I stepped on stage, and I looked at the Forbes website, and they came up with, yes, keeping up with technology is important, but so is skills that we shouldn't forget, like negotiation, communication, creativity, problem solving, and collaborating with each other. Because at the end of the day, regardless of the industry, and I agree with my colleague here, we are teaching for people to go into the workplace, and they need those people skills. So yes, technology is absolutely vital these days, but so are those people skills, and we should never lose sight of that, regardless of the industry. Thank you, and I'll hand over now.
Thank you, Mr. Kindness. Now I request the last, I think, but not the least speaker, Mr. Saptarshi Majumdar, Professor and former Dean, IIT Hyderabad. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon to all. This is Saptarshi representing IIT Hyderabad. And I will not tell what all IIT Hyderabad are doing, because time is not there. But you all know that we have given an IIT to the country. For the country, we have built an IIT. And it's only 15 years. We are now within first 10 of the country's ranking all the time, and globally competing one of the best places of the education, technology education in the country. So I will just limit myself in few things what we felt when we were building this from the scratch. We felt that we need to lead the change. We cannot only discuss things and only think that it will do. It has to be done. How we have done this? I've given 2 examples. Government of India wants, there's a lot of focus being changed towards from China to other places, because semiconductor industry is now shifting from China to other parts of the globe. And if we cannot take that advantage, India will be losing the global competitions. So Government of India has given 78,000 crores to seed. But what is the manpower? We don't have the manpower. immediately we have to quickly come up with the new curriculum. What IIT Hyderabad has done, we have run within the last 2 years, we have quickly turned around and we have given 2-3 programs in IC design and tech. And you'll be glad to know AICT has taken that curriculum. Now more than 100 colleges from this year, AICT has implemented and with the help of IIT Hyderabad. That this is the leading the change. Another thing is that we are talking about AI. When I did my master's in IIT Kharagpur, way back 2000, my thesis work was AI. And that time nobody was there to pat. But I have done the research on AI. So we have realized that core engineering has a lot of AI components. We have done it 30 years back. That time rarely people have heard anything about AI. So but you see today, what is happening? Everybody wants to do CSE, everybody wants to do AI, everybody wants to do the math and computing, but less interest are there for the core engineering. So what we have done, we have led here also. We have built a new program called computational engineering. What they are doing, they are learning solid mechanics, they are learning fluid mechanics, they are learning the reactions, they are learning drug design, but they also learn what is data management, they also learn AI/ML, they also learn the programming, they also learn supercomputing. Thanks to God that we have a supercomputer in IIT Hyderabad. We are utilizing the supercomputing power. And this turnaround is quick, but rigorous. Please be careful. By quick turnaround, we should not lose the rigor. I'm just telling this program how we developed. We took 8 months, this computational engineering. Now, IIT JEE this year, every year, we are getting 1,000+ ranked students, whereas our core engineering is starting around 2,500. See that we have brought back the interest back to the core engineering, to the cyber-physical transformation of the curriculum. And it is not the new, quick only, it's rigorous. We have talked to 5-6 departments, we have talked to more than 100 faculties, we have talked to around 8 industries. They came together, design our curriculum. We have given to the Honorable PSA, the Principal Scientific Advisor to Prime Minister, Dr. Veeraraghavan. He reviewed us. 3 former director of IITs reviewed us. And we took 8 months of time before we bring that solid curriculum. And that is still changing. So IIT Kharagpur is opening from the next year. So I feel innovative pedagogy has to be there. There has to be a cyber-physical transformations. You have to bring industry together, not by words. We have done with industry lectures. Every curriculum of IIT Hyderabad, every master's curriculum of IIT Hyderabad has a credit course for industry lectures. Industry people will come, they will give a lecture. This is not only establishing the relevance of our curriculum with industry, but also we are connecting with the industries. We have already, with these connections, IIT Hyderabad already surplus 1,000 crores of research projects already. So our faculties are all having cutting-edge technology. That is very important to understand. Until otherwise we fund faculty to do research, we cannot expect our faculty to be cutting edge. Because research is the only way where faculty knows the future. And then only they can train the present generation to be future ready. So we have to invest heavily. IIT Hyderabad has crossed 1,000 crores. Our entrepreneur strengths are more than 115, and they have already earned 1,200 crores of revenue in last few years. So that is the network we have established, and in the country's innovation ranking, we are the 3rd. So what I mean to say, finally, ending shortly, that we need to invest on research to make our faculty future ready. We need to invest on lot of innovations and lead the change. And we need to continuously striving this cyber-physical transformation by updating our curriculum, modernizing our labs, and putting more money on the tutorial and lab development so that 25% of the curriculum should be hands-on learning. Thank you very much. And if anybody is interested, I will be there. We can talk after this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Majumdar. And I think with that, we end the panel discussion. I just want to conclude with the fact that more than 10 million graduates come out of various higher education institutions every year in India, out of which approximately 2 million students get reasonably good jobs. The remaining 8 million students they get jobs is mostly underemployment. And what they have studied and what the kind of job they go and do, it is a huge mismatch. And that is to a large extent is the reason and why this country is backward. And if you are able to change, we have the power, we have the knowledge to change that 8 million also to be world-class talent. And there is a huge demand. Most of the GCCs, the Global Capability Centers, are being set up in India with the hope that there is a huge talent available here. And they all struggle to get the right talent to be employed by the organizations. So there is a gap to be filled. And the educational institutions, with their innovative pedagogies, with their innovative practices, they have to make this talent world-class, and they can go and work in any company anywhere in the world. That should be, I think, our motto. We should work towards that. With that, thank you, panel, for this. Thank you very much for this opportunity.